Good afternoon, traders. It's 4:46 in the afternoon here on Monday, and this is a live trade recap. I took 2 trades in the aftermarket. I got them all on video. Let's see. I don't think the watch list here updated quite as quick as on my laptop, so I think I started adding stocks. But basically, I'm just using the after hours top gainers list. So Rave was the first one. So this was kind of, again, like a bit of an aggressive entry, but to be honest, what happened was I was looking at this chart, not really noticing the 5-minute, which is my fault. I need to take my time, before I get into these entries, but I'm kind of famous for taking the break of the first 1-minute candle at the beginning of a new move, and usually that works out really well for me. And I just saw that right away. It looked like there was tons of volume coming in here. I think there was like 100,000 shares traded on this one candle. And it looked like this was about to break the high of that second candle. So I was trying to get in for the break. And then my stop loss would have been at the low of the entry candle. So I got in. And I got filled a little bit high, and then I'm thinking about my stop loss over here and the 2R and all that kind of stuff. And while I'm doing that, this thing actually breaks down through, which I probably should have sold it right there, right then and there. But since I didn't get to put any orders in or anything, I decided to make the stop loss the bottom of that first candle, which was probably, ultimately looking back on this, it was a mistake. But I think I ended up getting out about where I would have anyway. Let me just check really quick. Where did I get out of this thing price-wise? I ended up selling out at 106. So I essentially got out where this thing broke anyway. But I'm just going to fast forward through this because it's an extremely long, excruciating trade. It just doesn't do much. So, this is a trade that's worked for me a lot, and it just, went against me today. So that, and here, so at this point, I'm still in that trade, right? And this thing's just kind of trading sideways. Then I notice, Ecor pops up on the top gainers list. It looks like it's making a strong move, so I pull it up, and then basically this is like a 4-bar play setup. And then as soon as this level is broken, this $2 level, you would get in. So that's essentially, that's what I'm looking at right here, is that this is a good setup for that. And the stop is pretty tight for a $2 stock. It's about 15 cents. And you see this thing kind of going up nice and strongly here. So as soon as I see 201, I want to get in. It didn't break on that candle, but I'm still watching it for the break of that level. It gapped up onto this candle. And here comes the break. So it's a little late for a 4-bar play, but there goes the breaks, and I'm in. I got in a little bit high. 2 cents higher than I wanted. And it does continue up higher for a little bit. And here I'm using my 2R calculator to save me from stupid math errors that I might make on the fly. And so 233 is my 2R target. And my stop loss is over here. So we'll get that order out there, but that doesn't last too long because let's see. So then I just watch them from my watch list so I can keep an eye on both of them. And luckily, while I was getting into that other trade, this one didn't go through my stop because that definitely could have happened, but I was kind of willing to take a chance just because the way this thing wasn't moving that much. It was just kind of going sideways. And I'm allowed to take 2 trades per session, so this is within that rule. Now I'm just kind of like thinking about adjusting my order. Well, actually, that I'm just canceling because these things are getting close to my stop, so I'm getting ready to stop out. Then this one does a bit of a bounce, and then I decide, because I'm not really that into this trade anyway, I'm gonna probably sell out at 1R if it breaks through my entry and goes up. So just fast forward, and then it breaks. So I just want to share one thing with you because I did say this in my video, and you can see me marking it out here. And this could help you. That's why I'm saying it. Is that you see that this candle here hit the $1.08 level. Then this candle hit it. So now that's a support level. And this candle also touched it. That's a support level. And now this one's touching it again. Now, after 2 or 3 times a level that gets hit, if it doesn't maintain that level, then the stock is going to most likely change direction. Not always, but most likely going to change direction. And it's going to, whichever direction it goes, it's probably going to continue in that direction for, a considerable amount of time. So we've tapped that $1.08 level, and 2 things are going to happen. Either it's going to bounce up or it's going to break through and it's going to flush down. And it broke through and now it's flushing down. And my stop was 106 and I got out there anyway, but it did continue to flush a little bit lower, and then it did reverse a little bit, but I think it still looks pretty bad. We'll look at it before I end this video. But now I'm just sitting with the Ecor, and it's looking like, oh, maybe it's going to do something now. Starts to run up. So I get it on my trade page. I think I decided to let me sell half at 1R because everything is just weak today, and just kind of the whole thing is like foobarred. So yeah, then after that nice little run up, it gaps down. That's not nice. So, and then this thing does the same thing. It kind of has a like a 4 bottom instead of like a double bottom or something like that. And I think and I kind of decide the same thing here. Is if it breaks that level, I'm just going to get out a little bit early and save some capital. And it does, and I get out. And that's the end of those trades. And unfortunately, those trades pretty much, well, not those trades, all the trades today, so I took 6 trades today, which I'm allowed to take. Every single one of them failed. All the yellow ones are partly my fault, if not all my fault, because they're either, like, these were all aggressive entries, they were extended moves, things like that. So those are definitely my fault. And then this one is kind of my fault too, because I just said earlier that I'm not going to take these aggressive entries for the rest of the week and the rest of the month, that I'm only going to do 3 or 4 bar plays, no backside trading, and ABCD setups. So that first trade was neither of those. So I marked it yellow because it was the break of a first 1 minute candle. So I have to take the blame for that, not the strategy or the pattern even. And then this one was pretty much a legitimate 4 bar play, although it took a little time to break out. It broke out actually on the 5th bar, but as far as I know, that doesn't really change the strength, but maybe it does. But so that's why I'm just marking it a red trade, because it was what I think is a good setup and just happened to fail, just went against me. So, I mean, if there's any good news at all for the week, it's not a matter of me not holding to 2R anymore, that was a big problem for me the past couple of weeks. I've only been able to do that a couple of times. I mean, not that I really got the chance to see it even get near 2R, but the other side of holding to 2R is stopping out at 1R, and so that's what I had to do all day today. So the difference is negligible between, what I'm doing, because I'm basically doing the 2R thing right now. So I guess the only thing that could have saved me right now, you see, like, I'm basically back to square one. But that's my fault mostly, because I haven't been holding everything till 2R. If I have been, I still would be up about almost $15. I was up about 25 in that area, and I was up 15 here, I think, as of yesterday, Friday. And now I'm down 235. So that really stinks, man. I mean, it's super frustrating when stuff like this happens, but a lot of it is my fault, because every single one of these yellow trades is a dumb trade, basically. So anyway, that's it for me today. All done for the day. The only thing that really, I think, is saving me from turning these red days into really huge, I mean, this is a pretty big red day, so I don't know, but is that I only allow myself to take 2 trades, because that kind of gives me a chance to reset between sessions and come in with a clear head. I really was mentally focused on not thinking about my previous trades going into these trades. just kind of trading from scratch, so to speak. So not to let these influence me, but still, they just didn't work out. This may be what it's like trading the week of Christmas. I don't know. I've never traded the week of Christmas before, so that may have something to do with it. But I definitely am to blame for the majority of these losses today. All right, guys. I hope at least sharing this stuff has helped you, and hopefully it helps me. We'll find out if I can turn this week around in the coming days. We only got a few more trading days this week, I guess, till Christmas Eve. So we'll see what happens. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the pre-market. Take care. Have a good night.